Hello, friends. Welcome to the Arambhu series of Creative Edge, one of the subsidiaries of Top Rankers. Today, I am going to take up a very interesting topic, namely the comic strips, which is an important question in both NID, and NIFT. Let's see what does the comic strip offer to you. This is one of the sample that I have taken, how the comic strip is displayed. There are two ways of telling stories. One, one way is simple storytelling, wherein you have similar kind of pictures, but displayed in equal size frames. The other is comic strip. This is one of the stories Wolverine. Well, you can well gauge from here that the story told in this much of paragraph is, is displayed here with the dialog box. Notice how the dialog box are written. To tell you about the history of comic strip, a sequence of drawings in boxes that tells an amusing story, typically printed in a newspaper or magazine. The first newspaper comic strip appeared in North America in the late 19th century. That was the Yellow Kid. Is usually created as one of the first newspaper strips. However, the art form combining with words and pictures developed gradually. And there are many examples that led up to the comic strip. As the name indicate comic, it was supposed to be comic, not any further. Any story could be told in this way and called as comic strip. Let us look into the salient features of it. Here is the most modern way of presenting comic strip. What comic strip has to have? A column for the title. Then it has got multiple panel or frame. The sound effect, click, clack, clock kind of sounds are also written in comic strip, shortly called as SFX. A comic strip generally is with speech bubbles. Then there are, like for music, there are symbols. These symbols are also known as emanatas. Not only this, to make it more effective, there are motion lines or speed lines. The space between the frames or the panels is called as gutter. Generally, the text written here is usually all in capitals. Then, if something comes out of the frame, out of the panel, it is called as the book has taken a bleed, or this frame has taken a bleed. A caption is a box used usually rectangular for narration. At times, the narration are put outside the strip. So these are the terminology that you need to use when you are using a comic strip. The question in NID or NIFT could be like, tell a story in about 5 frames in a comic strip format. 5, 6, 8 frames, whatever. One more thing, why it is different than storytelling. There are so many things added up. Storytelling, usually the narration is not within the picture. The narration is somewhere rectangularly placed. Plus, the narration is all in equal boxes. I'm talking of the storytelling. Where are storytelling used, particularly as a precursor to a filmmaking or uh, a TV serial making? They do make um, the visual story of it. Each frame then is used in the real shooting. Chalo, we are talking of the comic strip right now, and let us get on with this. I am going to explain you each and every part of it. So the terminology here is once again listed as title, panel or frame, sound effect that is SFX, speech bubble, symbols also known as emanata, speed or emotion lines, then bleed and gutter. These are the terminology I showed you on the previous. So a sequence of images are placed here. Now it is only in the comic strip. You can use different size and shapes of the frames. What is the other name of frame? Panels. Of course, these images can include text, even the sound. Ooh, ooh, oh, wow, etc. What is important? Comics are a medium. They can be of any format or genre. They can have text or not, and they do not have to be funny all the time. Sorry for the glitch in between. Let's continue talking of panel. What is a panel? Panel is the border that wraps around a single movement in a comic strip. The placement of the panel should be such that it causes a visual movement with or without the indicative arrows or anything. Again, there is some glitch. I'll check with it. फिर से हो गया वो ब्लॉक. आगे नहीं जा रहा. Next is gutter. The space between the panels of the comic. This. Now, a comic strip can be written like this as well. Next are symbols or emanatas. It could be typographical symbols as well. Sound effect. Sound effect in a comic strip is also called as onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a term for a word that represents a sound, like boom, bang, wham, boing, kind of sounds. When an image runs outside the panel on all four sides, it is called as a full bleed. The live area is where you actually sketch or represent the story. And if it bleeds all four sides, then it is called as full bleed. Lastly, let's talk about speech bubbles. Now, there is no definite style of speech bubble. It could be any ways represented like any one of them, or in one story, you may use all of them on different frames or different panels. So, this was a brief about the comic strip, and you might have noticed that I was also comparing it with the normal storytelling. Normal storytelling is very simple. Comic strip has got a lot of things added up. As the time progresses, we keep on experimenting with newer and newer things to make the storytelling more effective. Like we have already added the sound, the speech, the onomatopoeia, and so on and so forth. Friends, I'm sure you would like to learn more things from us. So you can contact us through 6363 or you can use 889633 to contact us. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. So, on behalf of Creative Edge, I thank you very much for attending this brief session on comic strip. I'm sure you are enlightened with quite few new things as far as the storytelling is concerned. All the best to all of you. Right now, there are no questions. If you at all come across, if at all you have a question, you can send me across on my any of these numbers, and I will be happy to answer you. Thank you very much.